My sister likes to post memes on her Instagram story all the time. And there was this one meme that she posted like a while back. And it just said, does protein want to be in all these things? And I'm serious, like that meme really made me think. And I was like, wait, does protein really want to be in all these things? Hello, I'm Nora Kate. This is Nora's World, where I just talk about things that interest me. And today we are talking about protein and why it's in everything nowadays. So I don't know if you guys have seen new products that have come out recently, but I feel like nowadays it's like I can't even go into a store without seeing a new protein themed product, whether it's Khloe Kardashian's cloud popcorn, which really doesn't have that much protein in it. I remember I looked at it, I didn't buy it, but I looked at it and it really only had 7 grams of protein per serving, which is not that much to be marketed as a protein popcorn. But it goes to show how much of a tool protein is. If we're going to take a popcorn, only put 7 grams of protein per serving and market it as a protein popcorn. It's because protein is easy to market. Then you also have Starbucks' new protein line, which I've tried. It's okay. I mean, I'd rather get a normal drink. Obviously, any kind of protein powder is going to have that like gritty taste to it. But it has around, but they offer drinks with around 15 grams to 36 grams of protein in them, which kind of just seems unnecessary to me. I mean, the reason that you're getting a drink from Starbucks is not to have protein, but more so to have caffeine. And you also see products, which I love, like Catalina Crunch that is so popular right now that's kind of just like a trend, as well as Barbell protein bars, David bars, which have become a huge thing, especially with their whole marketing scheme and their packaging and everything like that. And protein is just everywhere. You can't go into a store without seeing it. You can't avoid it. It's unavoidable. But does protein want to be in all these things? Why is it there? That is what we are here to unpack. So I wanted to start this video off by talking about how much protein the human body actually needs. So the average person needs 0.36 grams of protein per pound. So, for example, if a person weighs 150 pounds, they would need around 55 grams of protein a day. So it's about a third of your body weight in grams of protein. And then typically adults over 50 need slightly more protein. And I also was curious about how many Americans are getting enough protein. And I was so shocked to find out that 97% of Americans consume enough protein. 97%, that's basically everyone. So I was thinking that maybe when I first started looking into like the protein craze, maybe there was a large amount of people who weren't getting enough protein and that kind of created a market for it. But really, it's not true. Everyone's getting enough protein. And that statistic is compared to other ones, like only 10% of Americans are consuming enough vegetables and only 25% are drinking enough water. So everyone's getting enough protein. It's not like we don't have enough. And when you look at that 55 grams a day, in reality, if you get a Starbucks protein drink that's maybe 20 grams of protein, and you have that, and then you have a Barbell, and that's also 20 grams of protein, you're at 40. And then you have maybe a salmon fillet, let's say. That's another natural source of protein. That usually has about 20 grams of protein. You're already at 60 grams of protein. If you're that person that's 150 pounds, you're good. You're at that. And I've seen a lot of people, and I'm guilty of this myself, consuming a lot more protein than that. So it's not like this whole protein craze started because Americans were not getting enough. We have enough. So why did it start? And when did it start? So the first ever protein powders hit food markets in the 1950s, and then they did pretty good from there, but more so kind of as dietary supplements for people who weren't getting enough protein, or specifically for kind of niche bodybuilders who needed more than the average person. So the popularity of protein, however, did not start rising until the 1980s and 1990s. And I was not surprised by this. I kind of assumed that that's when it started because that is the rise of peak diet culture. And there, around that time, there was a boom of low carb and low fat diets. So people were kind of steered towards the only like good macro left, the only macro that was deemed like healthy, and that was protein. So protein boomed from there. And that kind of reminds me of diets and trends we even see today. Like I think I see a lot of people doing like the keto diet, which is extremely low carb. And I see also a lot of low fat diets. And that kind of like goes back to the 1980s and 1990s where this kind of started, where protein was deemed very, very good. And you should be having as much of it as possible. And then what also contributed to it is that fitness kind of became less of a niche hobby into a very, very popular hobby. You can, like, you always see the fitness classes in the 80s with the spandex and the bodysuits and all that kind of stuff. Fitness kind of grew from there. Gyms started popping up everywhere. That became a lot more accessible. So because of this, protein became more marketable because they had another cause to market it. Everyone's working out now, so you need more protein. Again, gyms and workout culture is very, very popular today as well. Everyone's going to the gym. Everyone's doing the Stairmaster. Everyone wants to get their protein in. So, another reason why protein isn't everything. This I thought was very, very, very interesting. So, obviously, we saw protein rise in the 80s and 90s with diet culture. It kind of just kept rising from there. But the real boom of the protein craze, as we know it today, did not happen until the COVID pandemic. And when I think back to it, this makes a lot of sense because around 2021, 2020 was when we really started seeing these protein products hit the market and seeing everyone kind of become obsessed with it. And when you think about that, everyone during the pandemic was obsessed with health and longevity, obviously, because we have a worldwide pandemic that's going on and people need something to focus on and need something to kind of be the solution to whatever they're worried about. And that just became protein because protein historically over the past few decades has always just been seen as the good thing, as the fix-all thing. So it kind of just became the silver bullet solution to everything during COVID, and it just boomed from there. And now we have Khloe Kardashian's protein popcorn. There we are. Protein is in everything. Does it want to be in everything? We don't know yet. Probably not. It's probably getting tired. But here we are. So, like all trends, protein could not have made its mark without the influence of celebrities and social media. So, I know I love to watch what I eat in a day videos. I love to watch recipes and stuff like that. But I think that I really don't remember the last time I've seen a what I eat in a day video that didn't have like at least 70 grams of protein in it. And I think those videos are so fun and I love watching those videos. But everything is very, very protein focused. And I think the only other food groups I've seen being focused on that much is sometimes like healthy fats or something like that, but never carbs. I have never seen a what I eat in a day video that is carb heavy. Never happens. Because it's just not popular. It's not part of the trend. Also, protein-rich recipes on TikTok. I love watching those. But I feel like there's not a single type of food where you cannot look it up and find a protein recipe for it. And I feel like I'm guilty of just like defaulting to a high protein recipe anytime I look something up. Because I feel like that's just what I should do. I mean, a few weeks ago, I had a lot of brown bananas, so I needed to make banana bread. And when I started looking up recipes, I just automatically started looking up high protein recipes. And I'm someone that eats a lot of protein in a day already. I didn't need high protein banana bread, but I'm just so used to it, and it's just such a trend right now that that's what I did. In 2025, 61% of Gen Zers said that they value influencer advice in dietary decision making. Honestly, I feel like everyone knows that Gen Z is easily influenced and that we are very influenced by social media. And honestly, I'm just gonna like throw my hands up at this point. Like, yes, yeah, like we do get influenced by TikToks. They're fun. What I eat in a day videos are fun. They're fun to look at. Protein content videos are fun. And obviously TikTok's gonna influence us. It's a big part of the culture. So, I don't know. That statistic didn't really surprise me. But what's more interesting when you look at influencers and protein is the extreme protein diets, like the carnivore diet. I think this diet, it's influenced by the protein craze. It's also very influenced by the manosphere and all that masculinity and all that kind of stuff in that space corner of the internet, which I also think it would be fun to make a video on. Those are kind of just extreme protein diets. And like an example of this is the Liver King that was promoting eating raw liver for protein. And then celebrities have also started their own protein companies and partnered with protein companies. Like, for example, athlete Venus Williams founded a plant-based protein powder company called Happy Viking. And celebrities like Addison Rae and Jennifer Aniston partner closely with Vital Proteins. So we got all the influence there. I mean, protein really didn't even need it, but they have a lot of people backing them as well. So let's talk about protein where it is now. Google reported that in January 2025, the search high protein diet reached an all-time high, and 57% of consumers say that they check protein content when shopping for food products. That doesn't surprise me. I usually do as well. And the protein market is expected to increase by 50% from 2025 to 2034. That is surprising to me because I feel like the protein craze, like I already said, it started right after COVID, so 2021, so it's been around 5 years now. It's been going on for a minute. And typical health trends like that don't last more than 5 to 10 years. But I guess when you look back at protein, it's been a thing since the 1990s and just steadily rose from then. So I guess it's not that much, it's not that exciting, but still growing in 2034. I don't know how many more protein products I can take. I think we need to cool it. But the protein craze is also so much of a thing because it is very, very, very profitable for businesses. Protein in its synthetic form is very cheap to add to things, and businesses can create protein products and then hike up the prices because consumers perceive them to have more health benefits. So creating products for cheap and being able to sell them for a lot of money, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, someone's going to do that. But there's kind of an interesting juxtaposition with these products because a lot of these new protein products that just have random protein powders in them are also ultra-processed. And you see a lot of these health influencers saying, like, no processed food. We're not doing any of that. But then as much protein as possible. And these high protein foods have synthetic protein in them. So they're going to be ultra processed. So it's kind of like pick your poison. Protein, unfortunately, does have a possible downside. So in too high of amounts, protein can be harmful to your body because your body's ability to digest things is unfortunately not infinite. Too much protein can cause bad breath, digestive issues, dehydration, and unwanted weight gain. And also, consuming more protein doesn't automatically make you stronger without any strength training. That would be cool, but fortunately, I guess you do have to go to the gym and lift the weights if you want to get those muscles. So that's all about protein and why it's in things. But does protein really want to be in all these foods? I would say probably not. I think it was really interesting that a lot of Americans already get enough protein. And I think I really need to look at my diet because I'm most likely consuming too much protein. But I think it's always interesting to look at health crazes like this, why they started, and why they're still going. And it's typically a reason like it's profitable for companies. Like I was saying, they're cheap products to make and companies can hike up the prices. And it's already kind of a rolling thing, so why not just go with it? So, next time you go to Starbucks and you see the big sign and you see the little buzzword, protein, you're like, protein, I need to get that drink. You think, does protein want to be in this drink? And then maybe just order a normal brown shaken oat milk, shaken espresso, brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso. It's a tongue twister. But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave you guys today. I had fun talking about this. I am open to doing any topics, so if there's a fun one you guys want to discuss, let me know in the comments. But have a good day.